the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin!
Oh, beautiful, oh, spacious sky, or amber waves of grain, oh, purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on me, and crown thy good golden well with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
Word attack skills and vocabulary too. All the hits in the disposition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
What's up, everybody? Ring Time Pro Wrestling is at it again. Keith and Keisha in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
I was trying to figure out the way to say hey this week, but, you know, I just go ahead and say regular. Hey, hi, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Today, however you want to put it. You know, it's late, but it's only late here. Now, I don't know where if it's late where you at, but I know it's late right now where we at. So, that's just, I think I'm talking too much. Okay, let me be quiet.
We are here, back-to-back weeks.
This is the first time in a long time, though.
Yeah, might actually get some consistency in this thing.
We should.
But we are here. It is SummerSlam weekend. We are here to talk about the biggest party of the summer, the WWE's greatest extravaganza outside of WrestleMania. But without being further remiss, and if we want to talk about some stuff, start the show off a little differently. As our opening promo, we open with a song. It was from the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, as she sung America the Beautiful ahead of WrestleMania 3. From the Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. Our hometown, the greatest town in the world. Aretha was chosen probably because she was the Queen of Soul. She was from Detroit, so it would be fitting. She actually sung America the Beautiful on WrestleMania 23 at the 20th anniversary also. And before I get deep diving this, America the Beautiful should be the national anthem. Way better than the Star Spangled Banner.
That's right.
As a song. Just saying. But, going into that, for those of you, I mean, there's no way you couldn't know Aretha Franklin passed away yesterday at the age of 76. Probably one of the greatest singers that has ever lived. I mean, if she's not in your top three, you don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, that's just where we at, right? And that covers all genres, all everything. Aretha Franklin was amazing, man. And as a big time wrestling fan, this is where the two worlds collide. And it was just great to. I had to play that America the Beautiful from WrestleMania with Vince doing the intro. WrestleMania 3 came around. It needed star power because this was going to be the biggest WrestleMania to date at that time. And you couldn't get anybody bigger or better than Aretha Franklin. The hits, man, just an amazing artist. I'm going to tell you what I've been listening to prior to her even getting sick. This album came across my purview, and I just been listening to it. Kind of took a deep dive into it. It's called The Delta Meets Detroit. I'm going to make sure I get that right. It's basically Aretha Franklin killing blues records. Yeah, The Delta Meets Detroit, Aretha's Blues. You talk about a cold record, man. Whoo! A great artist. Always was transitioning with the times. Could jump on a contemporary music and make it hot. So you take an artist that's like flames in the 50s and the 60s, the 70s, in the 80s. She gets with Luther Vandross that the joint jump to it. Him and Marcus Miller produced that whole album, and she kills it. Cause you know what? She said, "Look, I can take the 80s music and put that Aretha on it, and it's still gonna crush." Late 90s, early 2000s, "A Rose Is Still a Rose," written by Lauryn Hill. That's Aretha saying, "Look, y'all new jack hip hop generation, I still murder y'all." It's just the greatest of all time, Keish. But
yeah, I agree.
We here at Ring Time honor the life and legacy of Aretha Franklin.
That's right.
She was an amazing person. Funny side story. Aretha Franklin is the reason why I had a very uncomfortable conversation with the current president of the United States about 13 or 14 years ago. I don't know if I ever told this story, but working at the Townsend Hotel in Birmingham, Aretha used to have a Christmas party every year. And the one year when I was working there, she had her Christmas party, and the guests come in, they stay at the hotel. At that time, I met the late Ollie Woodson, who some of y'all may know has from Temptation fame. I did not know him from Temptation fame, and he tried to big time me like I'm Ollie Woodson of the Temptations, which to me is not really that big of an achievement because no, I'm gonna tell you what, because it's been 77 Temptations, Keisha. You can't just tell me you was a Temptation. Like what? Cause see, there's 6 that I count. The rest, okay, and I say that I count. It's like this. All right, Otis, Melvin, David, Paul, Eddie, and Dennis. That's my 6. Glenn Leonard, maybe, you know what I mean? But after that, man, you just start. Look, I'm pretty sure I was in the Temptations at some point. That's how many Temptations it's been. So him big time with me didn't really, like at that moment, didn't really. But I digress. But he was a guest of Aretha's. And he, hey man, when he got there, so treat her like a lady, he jammed. Alright, so that year, she invited Omarosa. Who invited the President of the United States now, Donald Trump? Donald Trump called down to the desk, and we had a spirited discussion about something that wasn't working in his room, and he needed done. I was like, well, I get somebody up there. He was like, well, don't send them now. Then when you want me to send them, and it went left. But That was all courtesy of Aretha Franklin. And just a random story. But neither here nor there. Back to our wonderful, wonderful show.
That's right.
The way we're going to work this out this week, we're going to preview NXT TakeOver. We'll come back with news and birthdays, and then we'll preview SummerSlam. Am I going to go over Raw and SmackDown and stuff? Not really. Not a lot to talk about. I think I've been kind of leaving that out lately. Before I dive too deep, G1 is over and Tanahashi is your champ. I did not see that coming. I didn't. Because here's the thing. I felt like he was easing off into elder statesman status, right? Like I said, I've always compared him to like New Japan's John Cena. And I thought this was just what he was going into his swan song. And apparently, hey man, he about to get another title shot. But in good New Japan fashion. I mean, these people don't really introduce new people into the world title picture that much. And it might be a good... Maybe the idea is this. If Omega beats Tanahashi, then we're making a statement. If he beats him at Wrestle Kingdom. It still isn't beating Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, but it's saying something. Or maybe Okada comes back and wins the belt before Wrestle Kingdom, and we have Tanahashi, Okada. I don't even know what number it would be. So, we'll see how that works out. Now, moving on. Keish. Dean Ambrose is back.
That's right.
I mean, they haven't been really subtle at teasing him come back. Like, we always felt like, oh, that's who's going to come back and help Seth Rollins. So we knew that was coming. That being said, Keish, I need the Dean Ambrose diet plan. Because that dude came back jacked. Like, I don't know if it's just that laid up and being injured. I don't know what he hurt. I don't know, Keish, but he came back. Dean Ambrose is jacked. Way more jacked than I'm used to seeing a Dean Ambrose. Like, I need to figure out what that workout plan is. Let me get on that. But, yeah. So, that's it. But, let's get into our favorite thing, and that's TakeOver. I think the TakeOver music is really cool this time around because it's actually in Brooklyn, right? So we're going. And I like that SummerSlam has a place. Even though I think they might mess around and move it. But we're in Brooklyn. TakeOver 4 is the 4th TakeOver in Brooklyn. These TakeOver shows have been monumental and crazy. Generally outshines the entire weekend. I believe this year will be no different. Why? Because it's just built better. It is traditional wrestling. All the matches mean something. We have some good storylines that we've been working over. Right? Like, I got the Velveteen Dream. He's going to take on EC3. The last time we talked, hey man, EC3, well, that's how I talked about EC3 on this show. He was still kind of healing it up a little bit. That made him almost a full-fledged face turn. The Undisputed Era in the Moustache Mountain. Keish, this is a rubber match. These people have a legit rivalry, and the titles have went back and forth. Adam Cole and Ricochet. Good to see Ricochet back in the fold. Shayna Baszler. Sane. Keish, it's the 3rd match between them, right?
Right.
Shayna. NXT Women's Champion. Sane. Mae Young Classic winner. Who did she beat in the finals of the Mae Young Classic? Shayna Baszler. So guess what, Keish? You want something I wanted, and and I got something you want. What does it all really mean? I don't know, but we're going to put it all together, and we're going to find out. Shayna has been on an incredible roll, but we got somebody that we know can beat her. Then, the main event, Tommaso Ciampa, who I think has been one of the most dynamic NXT champions we've had in a long time, takes on his longtime friend, rival, all in the gumbo, Johnny Gargano. We thought it was over. We thought these two had went their separate ways and left each other alone forever. And no, because the world title is at stake, now they have been drawn back together. What happens, I don't know, but it's going to be a last man standing. And it makes sense, you know why? Because that's the only way this thing is going to end. Somebody just got to be left where they can't get up no more.
Yeah, but this has got to be the end, doesn't it? Like, this has got to be it for them.
No, it does not. That's the thing. It does not. And depending on who wins this match, that means somebody gets a rematch clause, and this thing still goes. But
this is true. This is true.
But you know what it also is? It's a long-range rivalry. It's a good booking. Like, it is classic wrestling. It is wrestling that I grew up on. Keish, The Rock and Stone Cold went at it for a year, and they didn't like each other for a year. And really, it was the second year, because the first year they fought over the IC title. It just kept going. Then they took a break, and the other people had other pursuits. Then the world title came in the mix. Then people got injured. People went and made movies, came back. Bam! They was back at it again.
Right.
They got 3 WrestleManias out of that rivalry. What I'm telling you is that wrestling is really good when people are not microwaving it and they are just working the stories. Also, NXT hasn't had 12 pay-per-views to try to fill up in the course of a year either. That may have helped the storylines last better. But I digress. We're going to get into the card and talk about it. Velveteen Dream versus EC3. This is interesting. Why? Because I feel like Velveteen needs a win. Right?
You feel like he what?
I think he needs a win. Like, I don't think he doesn't. It is big things that we have. Like, he wins on NXT, but like these big matches with these, he takes that loss. But on the flip side of it too, it's kind of like, I think EC3 could use a win. And I don't know how much we've got him one-on-one. We've got him in these different matches trying to get after the North American title, but is this the first time we really get EC3 one-on-one against somebody? I don't know.
I want to say yes. I want to say yeah. I mean, Velveteen Dream is not somebody to necessarily take lightly. You know what I'm saying?
No. I mean, here's the thing. I think this match really matters for both of their future aspirations. Okay. Now, here's the thing. One of these guys may not be on NXT after this is over either. Regardless of who wins or loses. Regardless of who wins or loses. They may not be on NXT after this. And I mean, half this show may not be on NXT after this show. I'm gonna pick EC3, but it's not for any real reason. If that makes sense. There's no real reason to it. I just think my gut just says EC3 probably will win this.
But I needed to be Velveteen though. I feel like Velveteen's gonna be on the main roster after this.
Right, but see the thing is,
there go your main roster pick right there.
One thing about Velveteen, he doesn't necessarily need to win. He has proven that he has maintained credibility of the character without necessarily having to win a match for it. One thing I'm going to say, Keish, shout out to the Black Wrestling Alliance. I follow them on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, follow the Black Wrestling Alliance. One, I'm amazed by how they are able to keep up with all the stuff that's going on, all the indies, all the stuff that happens across the country, and all the black wrestlers. But Keish, they posted a picture and some videos, And I was like, man, if the WWE can make this happen, whoo. So apparently, the Street Profits was hanging out at this party, and at the party, Leo Rush was there. Also, Ricochet was there. They all was dressed in some old school Adidas gear, and it was kind of like, oh man, if this crew could get together, man.
Right.
But, you know, WWE ain't gonna let it get that black. But it looked fun. That's all I'm saying. But let's get back to this. So, the Undisputed Era had the tag team titles. They're gonna take it on Moustache Mountain. Now, Keish, these belts have exchanged hands two times in the past year between these two teams. Moustache Mountain pulled off an upset a few months back. Undisputed Era had to get the belts back. They done followed these things all the way over across the pond. Here we are in the United States. Is the Undisputed Era going to lose these belts, or in Moustache Mountain get them back again? Or the Undisputed Era proving that, hey, we're going to keep riding this thing?
I don't know. But they're going to have to figure out what to do and quit.
Okay. I think the Undisputed Era keeps the belts. I think they keep the belts, and then maybe they'll face the Street Profits or somebody else for those tag team titles. Other teams are looking at those titles. I think the Undisputed Era probably is my best long-term champion for the next couple of months before. And because I can see them coming up, but I think maybe they'll come up later.
Well, I can see it as Moustache Mountain is not going to win because they're going to need the tag team titles on NXT TV every week. They're down in Full Sail. Those, so I don't really see that much because, of course, by the time you start to make that happen, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a totally different situation at that point. I don't know. Like this, I just don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see Moustache Mountain being on NXT every week, and they're going to be back in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they do. So they necessarily. I mean, granted, I'm not saying that they can't ever be tag team champions, the tag team champions, but I don't see it happening. I just don't see it being a possible thing right now, considering that obligation to be on TV at least every other week, you know, for the NXT tapings. I don't think it wouldn't be fulfilled or it would be extremely hard to do. You know, so that's my whole take on all of that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know their future, and I don't know long term if they plan to be down at Full Sail for a while. I mean, Pete Dunne hung out for who knows how long, so I don't know what's the next move with them. But I'll give it to the Undisputed Era. Next match, Adam Cole versus Ricochet, North American title. This is a tough one too, Keish. Like all these ones are tough.
This is gonna be my match of the night.
You think so?
This is gonna be my match of the night. I think so. I think this is gonna be my match of the night. I think they're gonna give us everything.
I think it's gonna be a good show. Because the tag team match prior, that means it's probably minimal to no interference, and Cole will be on his own. I mean, I don't think Kyle O'Reilly's healthy enough to get involved in anything. So, Cole is on his own. Can he find a way against the high flyer Ricochet, who is as dangerous as anybody has ever been? This way, I was talking to somebody, and they didn't know Ricochet and Prince Puma was the same person. It was like, man, I was watching Lucha Underground. He was like, man, this dude, he seemed just like, and he was like, then I saw the tattoo, and I was like, oh, snap. Yeah, same dude. Yeah. But, because, Lucha Underground is on Netflix. You can watch the first 3 or 4 seasons, which I think is cool. Yeah, I mean, whew. All right, wrestling. But yeah, you know what? Let's say Ricochet. I don't know if it's an upset, but let's go Ricochet because that would make things interesting. Right. So I'm gonna give the belt to Ricochet today. We'll see how it works out tomorrow night, but I'm gonna put it on Ricochet. Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane, NXT Women's Title. Keish, can Kairi get that belt, or is Shayna gonna keep her stranglehold on that title?
I don't really know. To me, there's no motivation to move either go to the main roster yet, so there's nothing there. I'm not worried about none of that. It's just how do you really go about calling a winner for this? Like, it's a great series between the two ladies. I want them to keep it up. It's like, all right. So, with that being said, what's that? What's the word? With that being said, I think that Shayna can retain the title, and they're going to give her one good more year of a good run, and then that's it. So, that. But I think that Shayna's definitely going to take the W for that. I don't think Kairi is ready yet. Not necessarily ready. Yeah, I don't think she's ready yet for all of this. I don't know, but she's. But I know that Shayna's getting there. So, and it seems to be a lot faster.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm going to go with Shayna keeping the belt. And I think she keeps the belt because I think you get more out of her as champ. Now, what will be interesting is when does her and Ronda have their collision course? Because that is probably, like if you're thinking down the line, and how do you set that up?
But I thought about that when she originally joined NXT because, that's the next step. You'll join NXT, okay, now you place on the main roster on Raw. Guess who's in the women's division with you, and eventually y'all going to end up having a match together.
You know what? No, I wouldn't even put her on Raw. I might put her on SmackDown. Just to take that speculation and put it further down the road and have people wonder, when are they going to hook up?
Right.
Like, hey, like how when does this happen? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah,
it's gonna make for great. You know what though? By the time Shayna gets to where Ronda is, it's gonna take way more than the creative team that they have now to be able to develop something for her that's continuous. So, we'll see.
I don't think it's going to be that hard. Really, the one thing is, since they've established her at NXT, and then the idea is that she is this MMA former star who's busted up people, and she's never faced Ronda in an MMA match. So, the story would be is that, of course, Ronda been ducking her. Ronda been holding her back. Something like that. She had to scratch a claw. She had to go through NXT where Ronda just got it handed to her. But guess what? Now that I'm here in your face, I'm going to bust your shit. That is the story that you sell. Now, how do you get there? It takes a little longer. Because here's the thing, too. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, I think, is a big match that they're going to figure out how they're going to get to. I think what you'll do is at the Women's Royal Rumble, they'll be in the same ring at the same time. or even Survivor Series, which will come earlier, where both of them represents their respective brands, and you put them in there, and you let them look face to face and lock eyes. So, I mean, I don't know. There's ways to make it work, but I'm going for it down the line. All right, Keish. Main event. Tommaso Ciampa got that title. He's taking on Johnny Gargano. Is this where Johnny Wrestling blows the roof off and takes that belt? Because I think this is built up tense enough where...
Alright.
Because the big key to your babyface winning a feud or just coming out on top at some point is the idea that it feels like finally. Right? Like, you are taking this up to the edge of people's seats, and this is the one where you're saying, all right, he's finally going to turn that corner, right? So, what has happened is he's beaten Ciampa, but then Ciampa comes back, and Ciampa's still terrorizing. Before we got here, and before Aleister Black got hurt, it felt like Ciampa won, right? And this was it for Gargano. But it's not. He gets a reprieve. He gets one more shot. You know what I mean? Are people going to be ready to riot if he don't win?
I mean, once you have, once you gotten to that point, you know, you do what you can.
Yeah, I put the belt on Gargano. And once again, Keish, we get one more match out of that because we're going to have a rematch. I think Gargano eventually is going to be on SmackDown somewhere. But for right now, let's put the belt on him. NXT champion. And then we really cook it with grease. Then after that, because see, even though it's last man standing, we haven't exhausted all our options. So what happens now is this. There'll still be some kind of shenanigans, and then they got to go into a cage. They got to go into the cage. Hell, first ever NXT Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell for the first time in NXT. Gargano versus Ciampa. But that's me dreaming. But I'm going to go with Gargano. And that'll be where we land on that. We're 30-some odd minutes in. It's time for a break. We will hit the break. We'll come back. And then we will talk birthdays, news, and then SummerSlam. Oh, yeah.
I guess that brings us to Mr. Jericho. You have the floor for 45 seconds.
It's obvious that I'm surrounded by neophytes in this ring, surrounded by neophytes in this entire arena. But all of you need to quiet down because the true best in the world at everything I do is about to enunciate. You want facts? Here's a fact. There isn't a human being who's been in more Elimination Chamber matches on this planet than me. There isn't a human being that's eliminated more superstars in the chamber than me. The last time I was in a chamber match, I walked out the world heavyweight champion. I mean, seriously, let's be honest here. My list of accomplishments in my career outweighs the list of accomplishments of you 5 wannabes incorporated completely. I am here. All 5 of you are here. And that brings me to you, Punk. Look at me when I'm talking to you, boy. All right, Punk, you might as well give me that world title right now because your master has come to reclaim what is his. Do you understand what I am saying to you right now?
All right, back at it. Birthdays. We haven't done that in a while.
Really?
Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday was the 16th. That was a Thursday. Dirty Dick Murdoch, the late great Dick Murdoch, had a birthday. You can't celebrate a birthday if you're late, I guess. Big Cass had a birthday yesterday. Big Cass turned 31, sorry, and unemployed. Already gonna be at an indie show sometime this week. Cedric Alexander celebrated his birthday yesterday. Young Cedric is 29, cruiserweight champ, killing the game. Today, Rashida Saeed celebrates her birthday. She is 36. Paige celebrated her birthday today. Paige is only 26, Keish. She just turned 26. Born in 1992.
But in 26 years, she started her career. She's reached to the highest point, and then she's retired. She's done. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I think
at 26.
I think she still has more to do with the business. I think she just won't be in ring. And here's the thing. The beautiful thing about being 26 is that what she could happen is she takes about 3 years off from in-ring competition, but still working for the company. She might get cleared. Like, they keep telling her, no, it'll never happen. But, like, 26, man, your body's still doing some amazing healing. I don't know. Right. But if it doesn't, she still left her mark. I feel that she has a lot to offer. And, more power to her. Tomorrow, Saturday, where most of y'all probably pick up this show, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Bruce Pritchard's brother, celebrates a birthday. Sunday, SummerSlam. Keish, ring announcer extraordinaire Lillian Garcia will be celebrating her birthday. But you know whose birthday is on SummerSlam Day? And a hell of a birthday present might have him on the main roster. The 23-year-old Velveteen Dream, who's turning 23. He's turning 23.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Sky's the limit for that young man. Sky is the freaking limit.
And then some. He's 23.
Yeah, he ain't even 23 yet. He's turning 23. Like, he's not going to be turning 23. He's 22. Yeah. So everything you see in these last takeovers, the last few pay-per-views, that was a 22-year-old out there. To be 22 again, Keish.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm still being 31 still. I'd rather go back to when I didn't have to pay bills and I wasn't financially responsible to stuff. But
that sounds like 22. I'm saying I'm almost 22 twice. So, like, I'm a lot closer to that than I am being 22. So, yeah. I mean, hey, I looked at some of my high school classmates and they posted pictures with babies. I'm like, oh, they just had a baby. They're like, this is my grandson. I'm like, shit. Okay, that's another story for another time. So, news, Keish. Dave Meltzer issued an apology this week to Peyton Royce for doing a little body shaming and just being an overall asshole. For those of you who don't know who Dave Meltzer is, he is a journalist in the wrestling news. Probably one of the more preeminent, more known journalists. I'm not going to say he's the greatest or the most legendary because that's probably Bill Apter. But a lot of people know Meltzer. Now, also people who know Meltzer know he can be a dick and also has this thing where him and the WWE just don't see eye to eye. And he likes to say everything is better than them because he likes to fuck with them. Anyway, he decided to go at one Peyton Royce, one half of the Iconics. She has some Instagram photos and he said something about her. Here's the thing. And I'm just going to say this out to men as a whole. If you are a man and you have any high profile, before you decide to espouse your opinion on a woman's appearance, don't. Just don't. Especially if you're not saying anything constructive. Don't. Matter of fact, just don't. Just stay all the way away from it. Don't. No. Who made you, like, I don't know, like, what? Why? Like, there was nothing to gain from that. And even if it was, why? Leave people the fuck alone. But, and now you're making a 36-minute apology. Why? Because you mess with somebody in your own industry, of all places. Dave, what the fuck were you thinking? Just don't do it. And really don't get into body shaming. And I get it. Dave's a workout guy and all that other stuff too, baby. I don't know. But I'm not trying to shame anybody for their body. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But just don't. That's all. That's just the biggest. Don't. If you was thinking about it, don't. But, well, I'm going to say so. I'm not going to say anything negative. Nope. You never know. Just don't. Because what you dumb butt might think is good, probably ain't. Don't. Just don't. The NWO is resurfacing, Keish. Hall, Nash, and Hogan shoot new promo videos and releasing them. Could they be coming back to the WWE or somewhere? Or is this just them hanging out? I'll say this. I didn't know that collectively they own half of all the NWA merch and publishing stuff. Say what you want about Hall, Nash, and Hogan and those NWA. Man, look, them dudes were some incredible businessmen. Like, they're still on that deal from WCW where they got ownership of NWO for merch and stuff like that. These are the same people who had a favorite nations contract in WCW, which basically say, hey, if you bring in new people, they can't make more than us, and if they do, you gotta re-up us. Like, these dudes were amazing. Like, hey, we about to get more money for half the dates on our guarantee that we had the other place. Amazing businessmen. That's all. But we are going into SummerSlam. Biggest party of the summer. One of the big four pay-per-views, which of course include WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. This show is going to be long as shit. They're starting at 7, which they do at big pay-per-views now. Or I think they start all the pay-per-views at 7, and the big ones they might start at 6. Like, they didn't decide. Keith Wrestling got too long. I take a nap during Raw every week. But we're going to kick off the show. Right now, they have the B team taking on the Revival in the pre-show match. This is easy. The B team not losing the belts. We gonna rock this B team thing for a minute, and I'm here for it. I'm excited for those two guys in particular, and I'm also excited for us as fans. And I think we'll appreciate those guys are entertaining. So I'm giving up for the B team, and I think they'll keep those belts. The next match, which is also slated for pre-show, don't know if it will be or not. It is a mixed tag. Rusev and Lana will take on Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Zelina Vegas. This was a little harder. What?
Right.
Anything with Rusev is favorite, right? But and the Rusev day is over. It is. But Almas is new, and I think they have a star in Zelina Vegas. And maybe they let some go, maybe they don't. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go with Almas and Vega. Just because, no real reason. Because I think if Rusev and those guys took a loss, it doesn't hurt that much. And then they'll figure out something around that way. Alright. Now the meat and potatoes of this card. Daniel Bryan taking on The Miz. This is this is what happens when you get a good story. It's kind of funny. SmackDown has the better stories. Raw, they just got stuff going on. But Bryan and The Miz, long time coming. For various reasons, they've had matches and stuff like that, but it hasn't really taken the stage that it needs to take. Bryan's back. Y'all remember the infamous Talking Smack where it blew up and it got real? Hey, these guys get each other in the ring now, and they get to prove it. So I'm gonna say Daniel Bryan. I couldn't see Daniel Bryan taking a loss at SummerSlam. He just got back from WrestleMania. I think that's, and then people The Miz is more compelling if he is coming out of a situation where he's not like the man. So I'll go with Daniel Bryan winning that match. Down the road here, we got Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin.
Right.
What you got on the 40, Keish?
Okay, so seeing, you know what? No, because I don't know what direction they're going in with Baron. I really honestly can't even tell you what they're kind of doing with him. So I really don't know how to really say that he's going to win this and then nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's really difficult to really pinpoint that he's actually going to win this match and then say, well, yeah, because, they're going to put him in and they're going to put him in this picture or that picture or whatever. I think he's just going to be backstage. He's going to come out with Kurt when he is, and then that's it. So I really honestly give this to Finn. I don't see how they're going to fit that in to everything up.
No, I think it's going to be Finn. I think this Constable Corbin thing will... I don't think it'll fizzle out. I think he'll be like Corporate Cade. I think eventually what's going to happen is he's going to get paired with Kurt more he's supposed to be watching Kurt, and he's going to turn out to start watching Kurt back. And Kurt's going to turn on somebody and do something crappy, and Corbin is going to help clean it up, and that's where they're going to go.
Right.
Shinsuke Nakamura defends the United States title against Jeff Hardy. Jeff is getting his rematch for the belt. Keith, why do I need to believe that Jeff is going to beat Nakamura when Randy Orton is going down beating his ass every time them two are around each other?
You can't. There's no way to really say. I trust this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no really be like, yeah, just he can be done easy. He done been through too many times with this before, but it's like that doesn't matter in this situation. It's a triple threat, so that really doesn't matter in this situation. It doesn't compare. It doesn't compete. So what you do is understand that Nakamura, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton. Come on, man. How can Nakamura not retire? I mean, not retain. Like,
here's the thing. We're probably gonna see a nut punch at some point, and I don't want to see that either. But yeah, should say Nakamura retains U.S. title. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the cruiserweight title. That's Cedric. Like, there's no need to even fuck around with that, right?
Right.
Now, the interesting match is Braun Strowman with the Money in the Bank briefcase versus Kevin Owens. The winner of this match gets the briefcase. If Braun is disqualified or loses the match in any way, shape, or form, he has to give the briefcase to KO. So if he gets counted out, it's going to KO. All that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Why are they allowing this to happen? Because the only reason why I ask that is because not just because of right now, just like in general, because it's like, so this is what we do now. We fight for Money in the Bank contracts. Like, I can wrestle you next week for your Money in the Bank contract.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's just a thing. It's an inanimate. It's a thing. Now, here's what I'll say. It makes it very interesting because you don't know how this is going to pair off. Right. If Kevin Owens wins and cashes in that night, it's incredible. If Braun wins, here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that case doesn't make it out of SummerSlam.
I don't know, man. I don't really see. I don't know. I guess because I don't see how you can go in this direction with this in the first place. I mean, I get why. I get the point. It's just kind of like, how many more times are we going to do this in the future, though?
Well,
like, this is not going to be it.
I think you can always have that match. You can always have the match where somebody is getting challenged for that. Because here's the thing: it's like a title. They're carrying it around,
right?
So I can always get something interesting out of that.
Well, when you put it like that, to me, it's better than a title because, in a sense, it's better to have it.
Well, yes.
And if you don't have the title,
no, it's better to have it, and it also creates speculation because as long as that thing is moving around, whoever the champ got to watch their back. So
right.
But my gut tells me, I'll go with Braun. I think Braun will keep it.
I think so too. I don't think Kevin is gonna take it away from him. It's just the argument of, is this going to become a regular thing? Because Money in the Bank only happens once a year, right. And then somebody has a contract. So then you go throughout the year, and it's like, all right, let me go challenge him for this contract so I can win this title real quick. That's what I think of in my mind. It's like this has become a regular thing to do.
Hey, challenge it before they get to cash it in, right? Who knows?
Right.
So, that's where we are with that. Carmella would defend the SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Even though she appears to be overmatched, I think this is an easy call. I think Carmella will retain.
I actually agree with you. I do. And at first I was evaluating it for the shock value of it. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair in the same match against each other, and Carmella, but then I'm like, that's why Carmella's gonna win.
Right.
Because of who her two opponents are to each other. Not because of who they are, just who they are to each other. That's why she's gonna win. Carmella's gonna retain it off of that simple fact alone.
Yeah.
And And it's crazy. It's the same, but that's what it is.
Well, she retains because they will be too busy at each other. And I think this is a good way for her to slither out. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins, Intercontinental Championship.
Is it bad that I see a Dean Ambrose heel turn somewhere in here?
No, I mean that's very plausible. I wouldn't do it because I think we've seen enough of the Shield against each other. But that's the saying. Hey, if not, why not?
Well, okay. So I feel that I think that the shenanigans that's going to happen outside the ring with Drew and Dean are going to create too much of a distraction for Seth, and he ends up losing the match, or B, they're going to end up interfering somehow to where Seth ends up getting disqualified or Dolph ends up getting disqualified. Either way it goes, it doesn't matter because you can't win the title off of disqualification. So it just really doesn't. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And I hated for it to go into that direction and end up like that, but I think that would be what would end up happening. Now, if you eliminate that situation, I think Dolph will still retain the title. I do. Because as much as I would want to see it in Seth Rollins' chance, just so that Dean can share in that moment with him, I really honestly believe that Dolph Ziggler is going to retain. So, there's that.
All right. I'm going to say Ziggler keeps the belt. Is that fair?
I guess.
Okay, we'll go with that. The Bludgeon Brothers will defend the titles, the SmackDown tag titles against the New Day. I really don't care about the Bludgeon Brothers or that match, but I'll
right.
I'll say they keep the belts.
Yeah.
Do they at the time? Do they at the time?
I'm sorry. It's just, ever since they turned them into the Bludgeon Brothers, this is weird. Like, it's not a good weird either. It's just like, what is this? So they're not scary. It just looks crazy, ridiculous. Like it's like, all right, y'all, come on, man. But I digress. Let's continue.
All right. The Bludgeon Brothers are weird. Not a big deal. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title. Now, this match has some legs, and this match can be interesting. I'd like to see Alexa retain, but I'm not 100% sure that they don't go ahead and put Ronda out. Let her eat up those Sports Illustrated covers and stuff like that. So that would be
I don't
ideal.
know. Here's my thing.
All right.
We know that Ronda's not going to win the title right now because it's too early for her to have the belt.
I don't know if it's too early, Keish, because you know what? We already here after on match number 2.
Still. I mean, but okay. So WrestleMania was in April. It is now August. So we're talking about 4 months. Nah, bruh. I don't know how Alexa's going to pull it off. I can honestly say that, but I don't think that Ronda's winning the title. I just don't. I really believe Alexa's going to retain, and then Ronda get her opportunity some other time, but it ain't going to be Sunday night. I just don't see it. I don't. I want to give her all the benefit of the doubt. Be like, yeah, Ronda's going to look wonderful in that belt. But I feel like it's too soon. I really honestly feel like it's just way too soon for her. And you know what I'm saying? It's there's too much that could be built off of her not winning right now. So, yeah, I honestly feel that Alexa's going to retain. Like, that's just, I feel it somewhere. It is just facts, you know. So, I mean, unless you like Keith. Like, it's just, unless you really, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Mm.
So, it is. And I should be advocating for Ronda's win. I should be saying that Ronda is going to definitely do this and she's going to take this title and it's going to be... No, I really honestly can't see that happening because I've seen WWE just do the most retarded things. You know what I'm saying? And then I've seen them do great things. So I really honestly feel like this may not be her time, but you know it'll come later. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my whole thought process at this point. So, I don't think Ronda is going to win anything. I think she gave it an A for effort, and I think she's put in tremendous talent so far. I'm not going to call her natural or anything, because I don't think it's that far, but it's like, you know, she's picked up on things very fast, and she's really good. So that's where I see it, but I don't think she's Raw Women's Champion good, not just yet. I think she still has a little bit more time, so that comes around.
Right. This is where I go. AJ Styles defending WWE Championship against Samoa Joe.
Ooh, this match is gonna be good.
Yeah. Potential match of the night.
Yeah.
We've seen how they get down in the ring, and I mean, this one you can draw a legacy because it goes all the way back to that Fatal X Division triple threat match between Daniels, Joe, and Styles. Fast forward to today, two big stars in the biggest company. AJ Styles is the longest running SmackDown champion, I think, in a long time, or that's what he posted. So I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna say AJ Styles keeps the belt and beats Samoa Joe, but this isn't over. This won't be the first time.
No, not even a little bit.
All right, so there's that one. Then I'm gonna give you Universal title: Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Keish.
Here we go. Here we go. Like, you don't want to put it like that, but we just seen this at WrestleMania. So, like, it's kind of like that. Y'all, come on, man. Like, creative.
His thing.
I gotta get with something better. Like, yeah, there has to be a better way, Keith. It has to be a better way.
Assuming that...
I see Roman and Brock Lesnar for, like, the 11th time in, like, 2 weeks, I'm just gonna scream, like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. Assuming there's no cash in of Money in the Bank, I'm going to say Roman Reigns wins.
I want to say yes to that, but I don't know, man. I get real skeptical because, not just because of the passion, but just because I know if he wins, that belt's going to be off of him in less than a week.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I say it established conventional wisdom. It doesn't go too far out. And I think everybody can feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what...
I don't know. I just don't know, Keith. I don't know. Because I don't see... I see Brock Lesnar dropping the belt to Roman, but I don't see him making out of the arena that night with it. Like, it's like, come on, man.
Be fair, I don't know. Brock has not had a pinfall loss of 600 some by days, and that might be going for a record. But also, you know, people sweat and stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna say Roman wins, and that's where I believe it. Keish, any part shots, anything going on, or?
the card for SummerSlam is interesting in itself. I know I'm going to be watching NXT TakeOver. I'm definitely going to be watching that. I encourage everybody to watch SummerSlam as well. If you want to get your good feel wrestling, this weekend is one of those times to do it, because one of the big 4 pay-per-views is always something that it's interesting to watch, because you always get some little surprise here and there that changes the whole game. So, I'm looking for heel turns. I'm looking for people to just stab folks in the back, just period. I'm looking for that upset, the people. I'm looking for the matches that end the way nobody saw it coming, that kind of stuff. So I think that, we give our opinions and we tell you what we think and all that kind of stuff. But, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. It's like, all right, opinion, like assholes, everybody got one. So I just tell everybody, go ahead and watch your own, watch the pay-per-views for yourself. See if our predictions are right. See if your own predictions are right. And, just go from there. Because at the end of the day, that's pretty much what this is. And that's the dead honest truth.
All right. So with that being said, we will be back next week. We will recap all the craziness that happened. For Keisha,
that's right.
I am out. Peace.
All right. Bye.